Right now, underneath your feet, there is enough gold to cover every single piece of land on Earth. Not a thin coat of paint, a solid layer, half a meter thick, everywhere. We're talking about 1.6 quadrillion tons of gold. That number is so big, it means nothing. So let me say it differently. Every gold bar ever mined in all of human history, all the jewelry, all the coins, every bank vault on the planet, that's about 200,000 tons. The gold locked inside this Earth? 8 billion times more than that. And we can't touch it. We can't reach it. We can't even get close.
To understand this, go back 4.5 billion years. There was no Earth, just a spinning cloud of dust and rock drifting around a young star. Those rocks crashed into each other, over and over. The collisions built bigger and bigger clumps, and all that crashing generated insane amounts of heat. So much heat, the entire young Earth melted. The whole planet, just a glowing ball of liquid rock and liquid metal hanging in space. Now here's where it gets interesting. When you melt a mix of rock and metal, something happens. The heavy stuff sinks.
And gold? Gold absolutely loves iron. They cling together like best friends. Scientists actually call elements like gold iron lovers. They even have a fancy word for it, siderophile. But let's just call them iron lovers and move on. So as billions of tons of liquid iron sank toward the center of the Earth to form the core, it dragged almost all the gold with it. Down, down, down. 2,900 kilometers down. Sealed away, surrounded by thousands of miles of solid rock. It's been sitting there ever since. Now, here's the question that just popped into your head. Wait, if all the gold sank to the core, why does gold even exist at the surface? Why do we mine it? Because the Earth got pelted by space rocks. After the core sealed itself off, a massive wave of meteorites bombarded the young Earth. These meteorites carried gold, platinum, other precious metals. They crash-landed on the surface and left their treasure behind. So here's the insane truth. All the gold we've ever mined, every ring, every coin, the gold chip inside your smartphone right now,
it didn't originally come from Earth. It fell from the sky billions of years ago. But that cosmic gift? That's just crumbs compared to what's still locked below. The real vault is still down there. So obviously, can't we just drill down and get it? We drill for oil, we drill for water. How hard can drilling a bit deeper be? Let me show you exactly how hard. This is the Kola Superdeep borehole. It sits in the frozen northwest corner of Russia, near Norway. In 1970, Soviet scientists had one mission: drill deeper than any human had ever gone. Best engineers, best equipment, unlimited government funding. They drilled and drilled. For 20 years, they drilled. And then, the Earth stopped them cold. At just 7.6 miles down, 12 kilometers, the drill hit something no one expected. Not hard rock, something worse. The rock got hot. So hot that solid granite started behaving like warm toothpaste. The rock walls just squeezed the hole shut. Every time. Drill bits warped. Steel pipes twisted. Millions of dollars of equipment got swallowed whole. Game over. 0.4%. And the core is still 1,800 miles further down. But here's where it gets weird. On the way down, they found things nobody expected. At 7 kilometers deep, inside solid rock, they found liquid water. Not water that seeped down from rain, water that had been squeezed out of the minerals themselves, trapped inside the planet for billions of years. And at 9 kilometers down, gold, concentrated at levels
20 times richer than a typical commercial gold mine, just sitting there. The Earth basically let them peek at the treasure chest and then slammed the lid shut. So why can't we throw more technology at it and go deeper? Here's why the deep Earth is basically unbeatable with normal drilling. Problem 1, the pressure. The deeper you go, the more rock is sitting on top of you. At 15 kilometers down, the pressure is 4,000 times what you feel standing outside right now. Imagine stacking 3,000 elephants on top of your phone. That's the pressure down there. Steel doesn't just snap under that pressure. It flows like a wet noodle. Problem 2, the heat. Down there, temperatures blast past 300, 400, sometimes 500 degrees Celsius. At those temperatures, your drill string, the long pipe connecting the bit to the surface, doesn't break. It just slowly bends and warps and becomes useless.
Problem 3, the drilling mud. Engineers pump special mud down the hole to cool the drill and keep the walls from collapsing. But at those temperatures, the mud boils, or it turns into a solid gel, or it flashes into steam. Every fix creates 3 new problems. The Earth has had 4.5 billion years to build its defenses. We've had about 70 years of drilling technology. It's not even close. But here's where the story gets actually insane. Because a new generation of engineers looked at all these problems and said, fine, we won't drill. We'll just vaporize the rock. A company called Quaise Energy took a machine originally designed for nuclear fusion research, a machine that shoots focused energy beams hot enough to heat plasma to millions of degrees, and pointed it straight down into the ground. Instead of grinding through rock with a metal drill bit, you send a super focused beam of energy. Think of it as an incredibly powerful microwave, straight down the hole. The beam doesn't heat the rock, it vaporizes it. Solid granite turning directly into gas in milliseconds. But here's the genius part that makes this whole thing work. The heat at the edges of the beam, it melts the surrounding rock walls. That melted rock cools and hardens into a smooth, glass-like tube. The borehole makes its own walls out of the rock itself. No steel casing needed, no concrete, no seals that fail under heat. The Earth literally becomes the casing. In July 2025, just last year, Quaise proved this actually works. They drilled 100 meters into solid Texas granite using this beam technology. Not with a drill bit, with a beam. The goal now? 20 kilometers down, deeper than anything ever attempted. Not to mine the gold, but to tap the planet's own heat. Because at 20 kilometers, the rock is so hot, it could generate clean electricity forever. But even 20 kilometers still leaves us nearly 3,000 kilometers short of the core. So how would you ever get there? One scientist came up with a plan so insane, it sounds like a supervillain's origin story. His name is David Stevenson. He's a geophysicist at Caltech, one of the most respected universities in the world. And his idea? Crack the Earth open. Here's the plan. You set off a massive, precisely controlled explosion, about the size of a magnitude 7 earthquake, to crack open the crust. Then you pour 100,000 tons of liquid iron into the crack, and you just wait. Because liquid iron is incredibly dense, far heavier than the surrounding rock. The weight of that iron pushes the crack deeper, like a knife sliding through butter. The rock melts ahead of it. The lighter liquid rock floats back up around it, sealing the path permanently shut behind it. The iron blob doesn't need engines. It doesn't need rockets. Gravity does all the work. At about 5 to 30 meters per second, the blob sinks through the mantle and reaches the outer core in roughly 1 week. Now, inside that iron blob, a probe, the size of a grapefruit.
built from high-temperature alloys, packed with sensors measuring heat, chemistry, electrical signals. And how does it send data back to the surface through thousands of kilometers of solid rock? Sound. It vibrates. Low, slow pulses, like a heartbeat, traveling through the planet. Picked up by earthquake sensors on the surface. Does this seem completely insane to you? It kind of is, but the physics checks out. And the fact that the most serious plan anyone's ever proposed for studying the Earth's core involves cracking the planet open and dropping a robot into a river of liquid iron tells you everything you need to know about how truly unreachable this place is. So here's where we stand. 99% of all the gold on this planet is locked in the core, unreachable, untouchable, protected by pressure, by heat, by 2,900 kilometers of rock that turns solid steel into a wet noodle. The deepest hole we ever drilled barely made a scratch, 0.4% of the way there, before the Earth shrugged and closed it back up. New technology is pushing further. Beams that vaporize rock, boreholes that grow their own glass walls, plasma pulses that shatter stone before you even touch it. But even at 20 kilometers down, we're still standing on the doorstep. And maybe that's okay, because in chasing these depths, in building the Kola borehole, in designing fusion-powered drills, in imagining iron blobs falling through the mantle, we found ancient water inside solid rock. We found life where life had no business existing. We rewrote everything we thought we knew about what's inside this planet. The gold in the Earth's core, it might be there forever, but the hunt for it has already changed how we understand the ground beneath our feet. And the next time you hold a piece of gold, remember, it came from a star that exploded before our sun was born, crashed into this planet as a meteorite billions of years ago, and somehow ended up in your hand. That's not just gold. That's the universe leaving you a souvenir. If this changed the way you see the ground under your feet, share it.